So hey guys, welcome to this video tutorial of CodeChef June Cook-Off. This problem is cache hits. It is a really interesting problem. It contains some story related to a memory machine. So here is the problem statement. You can read the statement, but in simple term, if I explain you the statement without missing any important point, then the statement is something like this. So there is a machine which has one layer for its data storage and another layer for the cache. Chef has stored array of length n in the first layer. Let's denote the element in it by this. Now he wants to load some element. That means he wants to query some element from the memory. So the machine does this thing of caching in the way that it loads array in blocks with size of b. That means so that means here. So if the array is of 9 size and the block of size of the cache is 4, so it will break this array in size in chunks of 4. Starting from this position, this would be one block, then next would be one block, and all the remaining would be one block. It is given in the question that the cache may contain at most one block at a time. That means that the cache of size 4 can take either this or this or this. So the cache is a cache loads the array in blocks with size b. So either this block is loaded, this block is loaded, or this block is loaded, and the last block may contains less than b elements, because suppose this if this n is not a multiple of b, then this last element could not be able to fill with all these elements. So the last can contain element lesser than b. So this is the important point, that only the last can contain the element lesser than b. Rest all would contain all at least exactly b elements. Rest all the blocks. So whenever chef tries to access an element, the machine checks whether the block where this element is present is already in the cache. That means suppose this is the cache and the cache initially had this block. So and the chef queried a number. So if this number is 2, and so 0 1 2 3, so this was in the cache. Chef queried in 2 and it found that 2 was already in this, so it just directly returned 2. So this is the main use of cache. And if it is not present, so like suppose in this, let's take an example that the input given to us is 5, then but we cannot directly return it because it is not present here. So what does this machine does is that it removes this initial block and it adds the block which contain this input. That means 5, which is present in block number 1, so it would be removing this block and it would be updating all these values with this new value 4 5 6 and 7 and returning back the 5. So this is thing happening. So and initially it is also given that the cache is empty. So now the question is that the chef has a sequence of elements in which he want to query. So like suppose first time he want this, second time he want this, third he want this, then he want this element. So this is any sequence which is given to us, and now we have to tell that how many times will the machine need to load a block into the cache layer. So here is the sample example. I will explain it using this example as it is more clear. So there is one observation in this entire given set, that for each I, the block in which ith element is present is I by b. So now if we see for, let's suppose I equal to 0, so it is present in the block 0 by 4, which is 0. Let's see for I equal to 1, it is present in the block 1 by 4, which is equal to 0, if we are only taking the integral part here. For I equal to 2, it is present in the block 2 by 4, which is again 0 if we only take the integral part. For I equal to 3, it is present in the block 3 by 4, which is only equal to 0 if we take the integral part. So all these are present in 0th block. Similarly, if we would be doing for I equal to 4, then 4 by 4 would be 1. For I equal to 5, 5 by 4 would also be 1 if you only take the integral part. Similarly for 6 and 7, and when we will be reaching I equal to 8, 8 by 4 would be 2. That means it is present in the second block. So this I by A is really useful, and it gives us the number of block in which the ith element is present. So now let's get to the code and compare this idea with the code, and I will be explaining more over there. So here is the code. It contains lot of comment, please ignore them. So this is the main part. We are taking input, and then here we are building the answer. So initially the answer is 0, and this current basically means that the which block number is present. So this current can be 0, 1, 2 in our case. So initially, since the cache is empty, so I am just initializing it with -1. Then for each of the query element, these 0, 3 and 4, I am iterating with the for loop, and if the cache is empty, that means current is -1, then I am incrementing the answer by 1. That means I have to make an which of this was the we have to actually count the number of times the machine will need to load the data. So answer basically counts the number of time that machine loaded the data. So initially, since the cache was empty, we have to upload the data, so we incremented the count, and this current basically stores the block which is now stored in the cache. So suppose initially it was empty and the query come for 2, then the cache memory would contain 0, 1, 2 and 3. So 2 was queried, initially it was empty, and then we incremented the answer by 1, and we found that the current block which is present in the cache is current of array of I by B. That means 2 by, that means if this was array of I is this only, so 2 by 0, 2 by 4, which is equal to 0. So this is the current block which is currently stored in the cache, and then this would only happen for the first time when the cache was empty. For all the other cases, we are just comparing that the block number over here is same as the block number of the queried element. So suppose this queried element was 3, so here we are finding the block number of this 3, and if it is not equal to 3, this is not equal to the current block number, that means it is from different block number. So we are incrementing the answer and we are updating the new block number. So suppose in this case, since this was present initially, now the query come of 6, and 6 is present in this block number, that means 6 by 4 is equals to 1, but initially if we see in the cache the present was 0, so this is not equal. Then we will be uploading this into the cache and removing this, and this would be incrementing the answer by 1, and in the end we would be printing the answer. So this was the entire question, and I think I was able to explain it. If you have any doubt, please let me know in the comment section. I will make sure that I clear all your doubts. Do like and subscribe the channel. Also, I have uploaded some solutions of other problems which I was able to solve. Do check them out. Thank you guys.